اوكي مرحبا يحوات.
السلام عليكم everybody and رعوش حديش عمت.
اوكي لو معلتي حدا سوداناوي كابزيوم نايكوش حاونا غوربيتنا ابز مسا غوربيتايو بقداماي منشن غيرنيرا مسيكم اللهو مجمريا رحوس حدش عمت نبمولكم نتي ابز عمت تسمبلو رحوس بعال قدس يوحنس مالتي نقولاتكم رحوس بعال قدس يوحنس مالتي قال بسترفه غلا ابتي كزاربولو زغنو ابو خزاربي مالتي تزعابي كن عود امتيو اتوم ناي ليبيا غلا تبلونا دلهم اتوم ناي ليبيا تبلو زلهم تسرحلو منغدي امصيخه بحنساب مسرح ترحيب تزي كوينو على فيسبوك تزاريبه نساعات دفوتحو سبانه محرد وجلو سب ولا حد سب يلن تناي تاتاش مختفلتوا زلكم توم تتحيزوم زلو قصال زبلكم نجر انت دهاليا نحنا نزغونه سب كنوصو تدا خوينا باكشن تحاغاغيزنا تزي كوينا بخال منغد خنوصو وي كان تحاغاغوزو اين خيلنينا مخنياتو ابتري العالم كوم ايد سرح سلازي اتيوم تدنغصلوم اندحر كينكم تيوم نيمسليلكم تزي كوينكم دحر بزرب بعد فتح اندحر كوينخا كتزاربولهم تقوليكم مالتي كندنا عاي حزبنا اندا تساقيدو حزبنا اندا قرره حزبنا اندا عرقيلكم ابزي كابتن زاربو كابتن نبرو منين اندابلكم تاشمت غبرنا اندحر كتزاربولهم اندحر دليكم اذا فيسبوك مع عدلي زلون نفسه كف سبب عالم زلو مالتي سلازي فيسبوك كفيتكم كم زين احنا خفيتني عدلنا اختزاربولهم تقوليكم شجر دبهال نجر يبلون اتي نايلو معلت جن جلس لخبنا زحاونا قصالينا نكاتا عبزي دلخو ابارتمنتي زغمت بكري زبهال كابتيوم نايكوش كابتيوم رويال فاميلي كساب حجي سارفايف دغبر زلو كاب اومي مالتي حجي بخال ازربا
Okay, so hi everybody, my name is Bakri. I am from Kerma, which is located in northern Sudan, which was the capital of Kush. Some people aren't familiar with the fact that Sudan actually has an entire different tribal, cultural, and historical background, and there's a deep connection, I believe, between our people and the Kingdom of Kush and the surrounding regions. For example, people in Eritrea, Asmara, Djibouti, and Ethiopia, and all the way down to Somalia. It's not by mistake that I believe that we even look like Habesh from Ethiopia, or
actually they've been fighting in history, right? They've been fighting each other in history, but how they've been living together with all the problem. I mean, how they get disappear all this kingdom. I mean, the kingdom of it could be the kingdom of Aksum or the kingdom of the Kush. And then the way you told me, actually the Abdharina Dalla, the one behind me, the picture, the one is Aksum and the one is تتبزح ab Ethiopia tash ab عالم زبزح pyramid zolo area is the am I right?
Yes.
This is the most the pyramid is in your area. Yours, right? Even more than Egypt.
That's even more than Egypt, and we like Egypt is not the same as the Egypt that it used to be back then. Obviously, we have our own language. It was reading and writing, but through the colonization, obviously, there's been a lot of war against our heritage, basically.
Okay.
And so, a lot of it has been lost.
Before you go there, what happened to that language right now? I mean, in your area, what happened to that language?
That language right now is very. You're criticized for speaking it, obviously. So
you criticize the Sudan government about it?
Yeah, once the Arabs they made Arabic the official language of the country.
Okay.
You would get in a lot of trouble for even speaking our language. You know what I mean?
You get in a lot of trouble for speaking your language.
They stopped it in school. They tell you that it's not proper. All these kind of things, and basically they gave us pretty hard time, and they're still giving us a lot of hard time.
Okay. At the same time, just I'll let us know. I'll let know everybody. You used to have your own writing letter, not Arabic, not something else.
Nothing. Till this day, we speak it in the house. We speak our own language. Right now, they call it Rotana, but obviously it's its own language. You know what I mean? And
okay. What about the letters? What happened right now? Who is using them right now? Like we do right now. Still ours is existing. Like I see, like everybody's writing.
Ours. Unfortunately, now it's only a spoken language. It's not written or writing anymore.
I mean, it's totally disappeared.
It's totally disappeared. Yes.
Okay.
Except for the speaking part, people still speak it, but there's no
But they're not using it at all.
No. Reading, just speaking.
Kerma is the main place for the kingdom of Kush.
Yes.
So they are using it for letter or for something else, or just disappear totally.
It got disappeared. We reading and writing now. It's all in Arabic, unfortunately.
Okay. What about in your age? Have you ever learned the writing letter or just
no? That the reading and writing has been gone for about 100 years now. Over 100 years that it's disappeared.
Okay. ካልእ እንታይ ያቕብለኩም ደልየ እዚ ሕጂ እዚ ምስ በክሪ ንዛረቦ ዘለና መታነት እዮም ካልኦት ሰባት ንኽርዳእኩም እንታይ ኣጋጢሙ ኣብቲ ናቶም ኤርያ ኩሉ መዓልቲ ኢና ንካታዕ ኣብ ብዙሕ ኣርእስቲና ንሰማማዕና ኢና ማለት እዩ ኣብ ብዙሕ ኣርእስቲ ንሰማማዕና ግን ሓንቲ ነገር ክነግረኩም እቲ ኩሉ መዓልቲ ኣብዚ ንዛረቦ ምስ ኣብነታት ኢና ነምፅኦም እዚኦም ትሪኦም ዘለኹም ብዙሓት ህዝቢ እዮም ኣዝዮም ብዙሓት ህዝቢ እዮም you are too much people out there right like what is the population actually in your area?
The population,
let's say in Sudan, like just taking your area, the whole.
Well, the population of Sudan is 36 million, but our people obviously are like 17 million from the 36.
Okay, Haji, they are 70 million, and then they can't even speak their own language. They can't even use their own letter. You know what I'm saying, guys?
Not only
because you have to listen to me, that's why I'm talking in English, but I have to explain in Tigrinya because even my English is worse than everybody. So انت يقبلكم دلي مسيلكم زيهم ابزلو قانقاناتهم اللهم كساب حجي مسكال اي رؤسيو ابزلو خو بيلدين زغمت حدا ودعدون ابزلو يتقوم اليوم تقانقان ግን تقانقان እንታይ እንዳኾነ መጽዩ ኣብ ነዊሕ ግዜ እንዳጠፈ መጽዩ ስለምንታይ ይጠፍዩ ተቋንቋን ድሕልኩምኒ በትናይ ዓረብ ምትትታዊ that's why እቲ ኣብ بحثيروسي أب سودان زنبر هزبي أب استفعل على إجزين تحر سمعكم بما بقولوا عربون أيقونن تسمع لكم بما بقولوا تي أب سودان زنبر سب عرب أيقونن yeah. Do you have originally Arabic people from Sudan? I mean just
originally no they're not.
How come up and then just erase everything up there? Just can you let me explain? Okay, there is a Quran. Everybody's reading in Arabic.
Yes.
Everybody know that.
Yeah.
But how come? Okay, all the religions come from outside. It could be Islam, or it could be Christian, or it could be. It doesn't matter. Any.
The Arabic started coming around 1400 years ago to my region in my area.
Okay.
1400 years ago. So it came through Islam, but then Islam is a religion. People didn't have a problem being Muslim. And people were fine with speaking.
Yeah, they accepted Islam. That's fine with that.
They're fine with that. But after a while, it really, after that, it started, after colonization by the British, then the Turkish, then the Arabs started coming in from different places.
Okay, so you just tell me that, your area, your region is about 70 million from the population from 36 million from your Sudan.
But the 17 million is spread out. They're not. Yeah.
Okay. What about this 17 million? Just they like to disappear their language, their own letters, their culture, everything is. How they got defeat or how they fight with this thing. In the ground.
So here's how when they started that there's something called the high dam. I'm not sure if you know about it.
Yeah, the high dam is after that you come to nai comes the gidib nai zinab nai Ethiopia gidib malati the high dam.
The high dam is located in southern Egypt, northern Sudan. It's a dam that Egypt built to save the peripheral water and stuff like that. But this dam, when they built it, it drowned a big portion of our lands and our people. Like all the artifacts disappeared, and a lot of them had to move. So that dam actually affected us a lot. Like we had to move a lot of our people out of there. So our people were being attacked not only by big projects, but that our language was also being attacked. Our way of life was being attacked. They hit us from all angles. Like it basically it's a slow process, but it's you getting it from all angles.
But the funny thing is, you just tell me it's about 17 million.
Yeah.
The population in that area. If it's 17 million, if they are if there is 17 million, how they could allow just to disappear? They never been fighting, or just they accepted
No, the thing about it is they're not these 17 millions. like when you brainwash the population, and the population is brainwashed, and they don't know what's going on around them. They are silent because they don't even know what to say. You know what I mean? They don't even know what's going on.
Okay.
So if you don't know what's going on, and what are you gonna say? There's nothing to say. They reach the point where the people don't even know that they're being targeted.
Okay.
Yeah.
At the same time, before we go to like the colonialism or something, بزعبا ناي أفريقيا colonialism كنزاربينا صنحيلنا عجن جزئية نجمرا درنا تار استناقم بزعبا أبدوبات زلو مفلات أمونغو جبس زلو يكون actually I'm telling them we're gonna talk about the colonialism, the borders between Egypt and Sudan, between Eritrea and Sudan, between Ethiopia and Sudan, between Ethiopia and Eritrea, between those all countries around there. We're gonna talk about it. That's all I'm basically telling them. But okay, this is what already happened. Right now, you came from this family who have their own letters, who have their own languages, and then just you have your language right now. You don't have the letters anymore. You don't learn, and then couple years ago they got disappear.
Right.
So, but we are in Eritrea, and there is people in Ethiopia. So what is your advice for those people? Just because I mean, always is coming like colonialism, the same like.
So here's the thing: Sudan is basically it's the name Sudan isn't even the right name for that region. First of all, the name itself is a colonized name that they gave them. And not only that, like most of these borders that are drawn between Eritrea, Djibouti, and Ethiopia, and say for now Sudan, these borders were actually put by people with a simple rule and basically making borders and calling countries.
Okay.
But my advice to those people is like all of these people are one. I think they need to not think that there's borders between us, because I don't think there's borders between us. I think we are probably the same people.
Yeah.
With the same heritage, and we probably spoke the same language one day or another. But after the colonization, obviously they drew the borders between us, and everybody was made to believe that this is your country, or this is your country, or this is that country. For example, I'm now Sudanese. I don't know how, but I am now. And you are Eritrean, right?
Okay.
And the other guy is Ethiopia.
Yeah.
But these, I think that's the wrong way to identify this group of people. You know what I'm saying?
It should be by the, I mean, I don't know. It should be by the not. It should be by the original identity.
Yeah. It should be about.
I mean, how? Okay, if you without border, you cannot do nothing. I mean, or how you gonna manage it if you don't have a border? اليوم ناتي إنجليش تسعة كل ده اللغة معنا أجات عم خوينسي just let me explain about my English. اليوم إنجليش ناتي تسعة كل ده اللغة مسي أجات عم خوين وتهدر سلزنا بركو تاشمي زار منين هي رسلز الشلل بلوات ناتي إنجليش مالتين ده تردياتكم تصبوا أنت زي تردياتكم كا شجر يبلون كم زي أبيت مرت الديالوج زبهار نيرنا تمهارو نبرنا كم جيكم صدوا مالتي سلزي أهو برداكم على تدزارة بدل اللغة سلزي تمل اختم حلافي زد اللي مالتي سلزي okay, where I was asking.
No, we were talking about the borders.
Yeah,
the borders, and how I personally think these borders were put in place to separate these people from each other. At the end of the day, like for example, if you were to come to my town,
okay,
in Kerma, which is northern Sudan, and see the people that live there, you would think they are from Asmara. Okay. But for some reason, for some odd reason, nobody knows this, that these people could be connected, and they're probably the same people from all the way down up. You know what I'm saying?
But the question I ask you, first is, what is your advice? We have a language, we have a letter, and then we have everything. So, is your advice just to make like a study in our culture and our whatever writing letter or in our language, or just to get whatever is the popular language we have to accept it.
Like you see what happened to us in Sudan. For example, we lost our language, we lost our land, we lost a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Due to the fact that we weren't careful in trying to preserve what we had. My advice to you guys down there with your own letters and stuff like that is, keep always teaching your kids about it. keep speaking it, keep talking to each other. You know, obviously we're now live trying to reach people out. Basically, you know, just trying to stay current with your language and your heritage. But I honestly feel like even there's a war going on against the people from Eritrea too about their heritage, and even the government that's in Eritrea is a government that's fighting the people, and these people, to me, I honestly feel like these people are the Solomonic people, like the people from that region, and I think governments are instilled in place to actually fight these people.
Okay, yeah, this is the last one before we jump. Okay, this is the last before we jump to the different topic. If you have a chance right now again, if you have a chance again in Sudan, I mean, you have a power. What language you prefer in your area or in Sudan?
My language, the Kushite hieroglyphic language.
Okay, yeah. What if there is people they prefer more than their language Arabic in your area, or
never? They don't. You won't even hear a lot of Arabic in my area. If you come, you'll think you're in a different country.
Okay. Okay, so we agree that we don't have any Arabic in this area. I mean, there is no proof any Arabic. I mean, I'm not talking
100%.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, people, because they adapted from long time, just with it could be with the religion, it could be like with the most popular, one of the most popular language, Arabic, and then people they prefer more Arabic.
Well,
why you think?
Like I said,
because I'm very sure those people they're not Arab. I mean, this is 100%. They're not Arab. It doesn't matter what you believe. You are Christian or Muslim. You are Swahili, but you're not Arab. So why you put over your language that language?
Okay.
I mean, most people.
So check it out. Most of those people, they're brainwashed, and when it takes years and years of brainwashing, you don't know who you were first of all. So. And when you're constantly, obviously,
you forgot everything.
You forgot everything. So you know those kids that are coming up now. Our people. We don't have the nicest things. Like we don't have the best cars or like the TV shows, because we have different issues. Okay. But when they turn on the TVs and stuff like that, the Arabic shows and the Arabic TVs and the models and everything. So they're kind of leaning more towards that way. Than their way, you know what I'm saying? It was just a form of brainwashing. There's nothing you can do about it. I'm not
just talking about Ethiopia and Eritrea. Like in Sudan, Sudan is the biggest country in Africa.
Yeah.
One of the biggest. Sudan كابتن زعابيا حجرات حنتيا أب عالم مالتي أب أفريقيا أب درجة عالمون كابتن أب قدامي درجات سرعة مالس أبتن أب درجة عالم أبتن 10 حجرات نايقدن كتول ليا Sudan بتاع معبه. So if Sudan is the biggest country and then you have like 37 million or 36 million, okay?
Yeah, I see somebody has a comment. Okay, Arabic has
no.
Arabic does have a relationship with our religion, yes, in Islam. But there's other places where there's Muslims, but they don't speak Arabic.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, this is always here. Yeah. I debate about it with those people. I mean, this was all my people, and then we discuss about it. So let's say, even like there is 1.6 million population. There's 1.6 billion Islam in this planet. So I don't think so. Quarter of those people they speak Arabic, even like no, I mean, because the most people is in Malaysia, Indonesia, Turkey, Iran, Afghanistan.
Yeah. Well,
so how people they give an example for this matter? I mean,
well, here's the thing.
Or if you are Islam, you have to speak Arabic. That's what you believe.
You don't have to speak Arabic to be Muslim. You don't have to speak Arabic. You can, but there's it's the best way to practice Islam is obviously
the best way
to practice Islam is obviously through Arabic.
Okay,
but that doesn't mean like you have to lose your own, or that doesn't mean that if you learn Arabic you have to give up your language too. No, but the problem in Sudan was we weren't able to freely practice our language. The Arabic, officially, like in schools, we couldn't speak it. It was frowned upon. They instilled a kind of a kind of method in us to make us not want to speak our language, but preferably speak the Arabic language. We don't have a problem speaking both language, you know what I mean? But we need the freedom to speak our language.
Yeah, but it's not only the freedom, but if you came the Arabic, if you change it right now, you're not going in like a little kid, they go with your language to school? Or with Arabic?
With Arabic. You're not allowed to speak.
Okay. Yeah. How if they don't go to school or they don't study about it? I'm gonna give them chance. Whatever it's the people they're gonna ask you. I'm gonna give we're gonna give them chance. We're gonna call them here. So if little kid like 6 years old start with Arabic, how you think he gonna know if you're talking both languages? Okay. He can know. We have right now in Eritrea. We have the Giz word it comes from the whatever is the Aksum kingdom or just the old Christian language. But nobody is speaking in our country. Nobody is speaking in Ethiopia unless the religion leaders.
Yeah.
Okay. If everybody is asking right now, it's going to be a Christian in here.
Yeah.
Okay. The Christian is special. The Orthodox is, we already have a debate about the Orthodox before. The Orthodox used to be like the biggest dominant in our country. So the Orthodox is only they read in church the Giz.
Okay.
Can you do separate between your language and then the religion language, or just it has to be mixed together? If they mix it together, they will come up with something else. This is gonna be like the same that the colonialism.
Yeah. Well, the best way to obviously preserve a language and anything is to keep practicing the language and the freedom to speak it all the time. If the language is oppressed, let's say if it's oppressed by the government, or like. They're not allowing people to speak it freely or talk freely, then this language is actually going to disappear. It's exactly what happened to us.
Okay, this is before we go from Sudan to other topic. Sudan is, like we said, 37 million or 36. He said those people in Sudan. How many languages is their original language in Sudan? How many people? Let's say Darfur. You can say Junub.
Yeah,
you can say
Sudan is well known to have many different dialects. We have like over 100 different dialects and languages in Sudan. I don't even want to say dialect. I'll actually call it languages. Okay. And most of them are oppressed. I would say yes, most of them are oppressed, and they're not allowed to speak it freely. But that's just the way it is over there right now.
Even Darfur, they have their own language.
Yeah, they want many different groups, many different tribes. Yeah,
how many groups is they claim this is belong to us? We are Arabic. How many people? Which area is Sudan? Let's say there is Shamal, there is Nubia, there is people they claim to Arabic is ours. It has to be somebody to claim it. Otherwise, how is going to be like international language in Sudan?
Well, Khartoum, which is the capital of Sudan, is basically where that's based in coming out of. Okay. But if you go outside of Khartoum to the different regions and parts of Sudan, you'll find out that all of these people have their own different languages around their region. They're only in Khartoum, the official government language, which is only in Khartoum. But they really don't have anything to do with anything else. Just officially, that's it.
Okay. And then there is a problem, between Ethiopia and Egypt. Never been solved. This is, it's been almost 1,000 years. Just even in history, you get it everywhere about the dam. You said
right.
And then you have a problem also with Egypt, right?
There's
or no?
Yes, I do, because they did the same thing to us that Ethiopia is now trying to do to them. Back in the 1960s when they decided to build their dam. Okay. Nobody said anything to them. They built a dam just like the High Dam. It's a well-known dam. And
in Ethiopia or in Egypt?
No, in Egypt.
In Egypt,
yeah, they built one, and this was back in 1960. And our people in Wadi Halfa actually lost a tremendous amount of land and artifacts and history, and we lost a lot just because when Egypt decided they wanted to build their dam. But now obviously times change, and now Ethiopia wants to build a dam. So you build a dam, and Ethiopia can't build a dam. I think Ethiopia can build a dam.
Okay, if they built the dam, what's going to cause, you think? What's going to happen? The outcome. What's going to be the outcome?
The outcome, it's very simple. They just have to find a different way to get water. it's a known fact. Yeah.
Okay, we discussed about this. There is 87 or 85% is coming the water from Ethiopia.
Yeah. So the two rivers, the Blue Nile and the White Nile, is what makes up basically the Nile River that gets to the water that's flowing up the stream to Sudan. 85% of that water that's coming to Egypt is actually coming from the Blue Nile, which is in Ethiopia.
Okay.
Only 15% is coming from the White Nile.
So if Ethiopia they shut it down, it won't be a problem because it's like 90 something percent live from Nile, the Egyptian people. So
Yeah.
what's gonna happen to them, and then how they gonna solve this problem? You think?
Well, I mean, they had a notice for a while, like this dam is not being built from yesterday. They told them about this dam about from 30 years or 40 years ago.
Okay.
So they never really, the Egyptian government never really took the steps to go ahead and try to, find other solutions for this, like
Okay.
water purifications and stuff like that. They didn't do that, but they were notified that this dam is going to be built, but they decided not to act on it because they thought that it was just a dream or it wasn't going to happen or something like that. But they have nobody to blame on that one but themselves, and the dam is obviously going to be built.
Okay. They're talking about my English. It's okay.
Yeah.
And then, do you think Egypt is involved because that dam in Ethiopian politics?
Well, here
Do you think? I mean, what do you think about this? Guess what?
they've been Ethiopia and Egypt. They've been at it for a while. Like they all have their own little intelligence wars back and forth.
Okay.
Even the previous president Hosni Mubarak was actually threatening to hit the dam.
Yeah.
But he forgot he has one too. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
anyways.
Yeah, he forgot what. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So basically, what has to happen is that they just have to find different ways of getting water, purifying water. It's totally within Ethiopia's right to build a dam and use it for themselves and benefit from themselves.
Okay. If I told you about this one, like I don't know, like 1 month or 2 months ago, the engineer for that dam in Ethiopia is dead.
Is dead, yeah.
And then the Ethiopian government is claiming he committed suicide.
Yeah, which
And
is
hold on.
impossible. Yeah.
They said he committed suicide, but this is what happened at his wife. Which is what she said is just he drank a coffee in the morning. He just walked out, and then he just killed. They found him dead in his car.
Okay.
So, what do you think about this conspiracy theory?
This is normal that the Egyptian intelligence and the Ethiopian intelligence they do stuff to each other back and forth. It's known fact.
Okay.
Obviously, there's no direct evidence to link something like that to them because they obviously use the best of the best professionals when they're doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But basically, they both like, for example, if there's an opposition, there's a government opposition in Ethiopia, what Egypt would do would then fund that opposition or that group because they're going to cause problems for the government. And see, the Egyptian government is actually very close friends with Eritrea and Asmara, and they're very close with them because they want to actually get to Ethiopia. They'll fund them with anything. They funded them with weapons. They funded Eritrea with logistics, with money, with everything, just so they can go ahead and fight Ethiopia. They basically didn't want to fight Ethiopia by themselves, but they went ahead and funded the Eritrean people to go ahead and fight the war that they can't fight because they never wanted this dam to be built or anything like that. So basically the only thing Egypt is doing right now is funding different opposition groups and trying to basically make some noise, but it's really not working. And my advice to those people is if the money and the guns are coming from someplace else, don't even bother shooting each other with it. So
okay, do you think they would agree like to build the dam ever like for future or just? Well, they have always. You see, like couple months ago, the Eritrean and Ethiopia, the Eritrean and Sudan border was closed, and then just about everybody to prepare a war, and then the Egypt military was climbing the Sudanese, and at the same time the Saudi Arabia military was in Eritrea just to fight each other like to prevent the whatever is to help the Eritrean government. And then for future, do you think they would build like they were agreed to build that dam or
which then the one that's being built right now
in Ethiopia? I mean,
well, it's 85% complete.
Yeah,
the dam,
but they never get happy about it. Every time they announce war, every time they announce a warning.
They can announce it as much as they want. It's not going to change the facts. The dam is going to be built. Ethiopia is going to use the water to benefit their people, and that's the end of that story. There's nothing they could do about that. They could go ahead and kill the engineer, maybe fund different opposition groups, do this or do that, but it's not really going to work. The dam is going to be built regardless.
Okay. Thank you دك عبيتي. انتهى يدبل دلكم مسيلكم إذن من تهم تيم مسلكم ولاتي قد محجي أبزد زاربو ويدبلت صنحكو انتهى مسلكم أب سوداناوين مبزحتهم سوداناوين كم زحجي مسايتري ودلكم أبزلو معت مسؤوم يزغمت فريندز مسايم كنا نقولكم مبزحتهم مالتي ولا أبعد عقا قيد كله تدبل عمق بدي تقال ماله مقبناتهم مجزية كما يمسلكم جن عرب أب سودان مهلاو ولا سوداناوين بيتحققوا نتم إرتراين نتم حمامنا عرب زلكم نعاكم يخرداكم حجي نتم حمامنا عرب زلكم إزيوم نبعلهم صحفتهم طفيو قانقوم طفيو اتزون ونجر طفيو حقوسات كم زي كونوا بقدامي من البات عقات عم خوينا يتخالن كزارو بحسيبا نيره عقات عم حجيك نكاتا عسل زلنا أبجزاك أب حنساب سلد صنحنا نمنت هاي كزنكات okay.
Yep. So I see somebody there. I seen a comment. He says that it's not about the dam now. Well, yeah, it's about the filling process of the reservoir of the dam. So basically, the reservoirs of the dam is so big that if Ethiopia was to go ahead and dedicate 100% of the flow of the water to fill the reservoir, it would take 3 years to fill the reservoir. So imagine the Nile River for the next 3 years upstream is not going to see the water because the water is being blocked off to fill the reservoir. And that's they're basically talking about the filling process now, the negotiations about the filling process of the reservoir. Egypt wants it to be done, I think, in like 7 or 8 years. But I mean, there's basically negotiations back and forth on that one. But I hope they come to an agreement about that at least.
Okay, I read one question. I don't know who wrote here. I can't remember the person. What he says is, tell us about your kingdom. I mean, what's right now local and ground on. I mean, what they think about it. If there is any opposition or any movement about it, just what I'm saying, to get back the
No, there is nothing like that right now. It's
so they accept it just to disappear everything.
No, they didn't accept it, but the odds are stacked way against them. Like, you know what I mean? Something has to change. Something dramatic has to happen for that movement for that to turn around.
Okay.
Let's go ahead let's take some questions. Man.
Okay, let's ولا بتقريني عند حديدكم عدلك بكم يا عواد بتقريني عند حديدكم قن نحن أنت دقة حتى يزبكم معه وتاشموا مالسي كي تقولوا مالتي مثلا مقارات كل وقت نزارة وزلنا. Okay, اللهم يوم تزارة وتدلي بزي. English دغلي يلندي. Hold on one second. كلاتكم كم زغما يقوم. بعد التيبل أبي الله عندابلكم يوم. أوكي. أدام.
سلام تسفهم.
مرحبا.
خلينا أسلم على أخونا ده. خلينا أسلم.
السلام عليكم.
أوكي. دي بدأ بعرفينا يا عليك.
كيفك يا بكري؟
تمام. كيف أخبارك؟
نورت القناة بتاع الليلة يا أخي.
الله يخليك اللي يبارك فيك. مين معي؟
أنا تربيت مع النوبيين في بتاع أصحابي كلهم نوبيين.
أوكي.
منهم محس، منهم حلفاويين، منهم النوبة.
أيوة.
إلا كان عندي صاحبي من أيام الثانوية يعني.
أوكي.
كان معي. كنا بنمشي وادي حلفة. يعني المحل ذاك غرق بسبب المصريين لما
بنوا السد. أيوة نعم.
بتاعهم ده.
نعم.
إلا خربوا بتاع حيس ما عارف يعني ملائكة كتار يعني.
يا الخسائر كانت كبيرة
يعني بيخليك تبكي. أنت عارف الكلام ده إنه السودان عندهم في السودان في أكتر أهرام من ما في مصر.
أيوة.
عارف الكلام ده.
الاستعمار.
خليني أوري الناس دي اللي بيسمعوا.
أيوة.
تقولتوا ديهم السودان قالوا بيراميد كذا.
نسوق سمعك هذا حن نسوق سمعك ما ولا ده حركة درقم لهم تخلي خا.
هو يلا عين انا لما مشيت في نبتة كرمة نبتة اصلا قرقت ما في شيء يعني بس بتشوف النيل كرمة مشيت مروي يعني صاحبي ده كان عندهم جمال كتار يعني غنيين يعني ما شاء الله
ما شاء الله
بنقعد زي شهر اسبوعين يعني محل جميل يعني هي اللي بحزنك انه اللغة هي قاعدة بس الحروف سواء فهمت عليه الحروف ما بيكتبوا بها
ايوه نعم
بعدين الاهرام بيعيشوا فيها فهمت الاهرام بيعيشوا فيها
نعم
الاهرام اي وفي كنائس بتاع قبل ما هنا يعني قبل ما تحولوا للاسلام في كنائس هناك
ايوه
كنائس بتاعهم
ايوه
انت المهم يعني حاجه يعني بتحزنك يعني بتبكي
طبعا
في حضاره زي دي
ايوه
داعت وبعدين ما غلبون بالحرب انت عارف الكلام ده ما غلبون بالحرب
ايوه ما
غلبون بالحرب بس خشوا بشويه بعد ما حولوا القبائل الثانيه
ايوه
خلاص يعني الشوايقه ما عارف عندك في 114 لغه في السودان
ايوه
الناس 114 لغه و500 لهجه يعني السودان ده كبير جدا يعني انا اقول لك يعني انا مشيت مصر تشوف الطبيعه الافريقيه في السودان والطبيعه المصريه ما في ايمان في مصر يعني ما بيصدق زول
ايوه
can you read this hold on can you read this and you can answer him like where are you talking just I wanted to read that comment because
he
at this one
so يعني يا حبيبنا المهم يعني شرفتنا
go ahead
يعني كلام بسيط بس معلش يا اخي
لا الله يخليكم معك كمان اخوك طبعا بكري طنبل كمان اسمي طنبل اسامينا ذاته يعني
الباقي طنبل انا اوريك طنبل الكوب انا وعندي اصحاب كتار يا اخي
ايوه
اسامهم ما متغيره فهمت علي
ايوه
يعني اشتغلت معهم ناس طيبين جدا جدا يعني بالمقارنه مع القبائل الثانيه دي عندك قبائل الجعلي والشاقي ديل يعني ما بتقدر تمشي معهم جوا اما الحلفاويين والمحس وعندك النوبيين ديل تخش بيتهم تسلم اخوانهم البنات يعني ما عندهم هنا يعني طبيعتهم قريبه
مختلفه فغايتهم هم يعني يشتغلوا فينا شغل يعني من زمان وما جونا دغري واخذوا وكيتهم يعني وجوا الراحه
اخذوا وكيتهم انا اوريك
من غير ما بنجونا ما في زول
كانوا محتاجين يجيبوا قصص من مصر لانه الكنيسه النوبيه كانت معتمده على الجلسه المصريه فهمت علي عشان يجيبوا قصص من مصر المهم فتحوا للمسلمين يخشوا
ايوه
المسلمين فتحوا للقساوسه المصريين يخشوا على نوبه فهمت
صح
دي اللي كانت الفتحه وجابت البلاوي كله يعني
ايوه
المهم يا حبيبنا شرفنا عشان ندي فرصه للناس الثانيين
الله يبارك فيك
بس اقول حاجه للناس اللي بيسمعوا دين
لك والله تسلم والله تسلم في التوضيح والله ما قصرت
ما في مشكله يا اخي انا وتربيت معاهم يا اخي
اوكي قلت لك هذه فصمه متى خالوت كعدل كنبه معصبني
كذا حان بك عدل هبهم خالوت صبغت من بسلام لنا انا نروح
اوكي سي سلام اوكي ثانك يو حنت نجر ابديا اتيا نمنتاي خا حجي نبكر بزحيس كامت سي خاندحكم نقول معاتينا انا كاتعابزي كمتي مساخما بز فيسبوك زكاتعو ابزخا ابتي زقمطلو ابارتمنت سلازقمط كل معاتينا انا كاتع ناي سعوديه العلنا نزارب ناي امريكا العلنا نزارب ناي اوروبا العلنا نزارب ناي افريقيا العلنا بتزمسلنا مالتي حجي بكر طرح ديك هنا مبزحتو غزي ابزي ابتو زلخو بيلدين بزحاتينا نقمط ببغزيو نكاتع انا مالتي خنكاتع كلنا انتايو فاكت سامسينا انا نكاتع تيوم مبزحتو ما بسبلو حجي تحت وند حردليكم توم عرب كونا لو اب ارترا تبلو دلكم سلامنتايو عرب كون زلو اب ارترا دحيلكم ريزن مالسي مخنيات فاكس كنهب علينا عرب كونا لو كم زخونا لو دحريلنا كاوينا خنجمر دلنا تي تاشمو مالتي otherwise كونا يكلني تخطع تاشمو زي بلو ترجم زي بلو كوني مالتي سلازي نمنتاينا تخطع ابز حزيه مصيا مالتي مسلكم اب دغينا نكاتع صنيحنا ابز خوفي لي دلخو ابز نكاتع صنيحنا حجي نتقاطعنا كلنا وا مو لايف دي اتو لايف اتيسي دي سمعوا زيهم ابز لو حواتنا سي دي سمعوا بخومينا اتينا مالتي سو بخوم سلاز اتنا بزح مدلاوات وي اجندا قال ملح حزنا يكونان اتينا اتنحنا ابز اب غزاي كوينا نكاتعو دلنا نباهومينا نبلو زلنا متى نسخاتكم كافت عجوزنا ወይ ክትምሉኡልና ማለት እዩ ናይ ክልቴና አፍልጦ ግን በብናትና ይፋላለይ ማለት እዩ ብኻልእ ጌርኩም ኮይትወስዱዋ ናይ እንግሊዝ ስለዝፈልጥ ወይ አቁ ናይ ኮምኡ ተማራማራይ መጽሐፍቲ ፍሉይ ብዛዕባኡ ስለዘንበብኩ ገላ ኣይኮነን ስለዚህ እንታይ ወስድዎ መስለኩም ከም ዘሎ ጌርኩም ሰድዎ እቲዮም ካልኦት ፕሩፍ ኩሎና ኣለዎ ነዚ ንዛረቦ ዘለና ሲ ብጭብጥ ክንሑ ዘለና ሕጂ እንታይ ክብፅኒሑ ሓደ did you read that comment the last one you remember one
No, I don't remember.
Arabic is his choice. Arabic is his choice.
His choice, and he likes it. That's fine for him. He can if he likes Arabic and that's his choice, he can speak Arabic. But you cannot stop the other people from speaking their language too. We're not going to stop you from speaking Arabic.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, let's say in Eritrea we have a majority rule. We have minority. We have a majority and a minority, and this is we have 9 languages in our country.
Yeah, yes.
Those 9 languages is, I mean, it could be the number difference, but which do you think we can use our language or for the national language in that country? Which one should be think for your?
Well, here's the thing. Everybody can have their languages.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
And everybody can choose an official language. If they want an official common language, they could choose an official common language.
Okay.
But my only issue is oppressing the language. Like, there's no problem you making an official language. Like, let's say, for example, Arabic is ours. There's no problem there. But the problem is when they oppress the other languages and stop and making people...
Yeah, but this is what's gonna happen. This is what's gonna happen.
I think we went off.
Yeah. No, it's not going off. Okay. It's there.
Okay.
Just you need to refresh.
Okay.
Basically what I'm trying to basically what I'm trying to tell you is if you like we have right now 50% is one language in our country, and then 30 something is one language, and then the rest of them is like about 8 say 15 12 19% is those 7 languages. So which one you think, like, even like, be fair, just to judge by yourself. I mean, let's say in Sudan,
everybody can keep their language. Just the only thing is one group of the one language cannot.
Okay, hold on.
Try to oppress the other language.
Okay, it's hello. 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 من قبل ما جمرتاس اللي يبلكان شم يبلكان عرنو كم يجرا تشم قبله كم زلنا كم يجرا كمان دويلك ولا حنتي رأيني لين سلخ رأيني لين شم كان رأيني لين
لا زمن يعني زمن ده
أوكي مرحبا زمن
أوكي يا بكري
نعم
أنا شمال ولا
نعاي رأينا له ولا حنتي رأيني لين كرما كات راح تسلم تشمي مسين تسلم سكريم مسين تاكل تراح مسين
Okay, maybe I don't know. مسهاز له بكري يسمعني
وسمعك الله.
Yeah, go ahead. I can hear.
Okay, there is أسألك سؤال. أنت مواليد من السودان.
أيوة.
صح؟
نعم.
أنت أساسا أنت مواليد من السودان ولا أنت عايش برا في أمريكا؟
أنا هسه عايش، أنا مولود في السودان نعم، لكن هسه عايش في أمريكا.
اوكي ما عايش في امريكا. انتم حسي اوكي انتم اللغات بتاع السودان بتاع الزمان موجود كان في السودان.
ايوه.
انتم من تربيتم من امريكا ممكن انتم يعني مثلا يعني اسرتكم جاء من امريكا. التبعيت بتاع السودان التبعيت بتاع السودان بتاع الاسره بتاع الزمان. والتاريخ بتاع السودان بتاع الزمان. انتم تحضروا فيه الكتبات ولا حاجات زي دي ولا لا؟
الكلام بقى بالكلام بس، اللغه بتاعنا بالكلام بقى، ما في تاني كتابه وقرايه. ايوه يعني لحد الان في البيت يعني بنتكلم اللغه بتاعنا عادي، يعني نحن بنحكي مع بعض اللغه بتاعتنا، لكن الحروف والقرايه والكتابه is no longer there. It's not there anymore.
انتم لغتكم شنو يعني؟ من وين اللغات حقتكم من وين يعني؟
هو طبعا في السودان مسمينه روتانا، بيسموه روتانا طبعا، او حتى ذاته كو انه مسمينا روتانا يعني نوع من الاستحقار باللغه، لكن it's an ancient language. It's basically what the Nubians speak. It's what the African Nubians speak. It's basically a Nubian hieroglyphic language. That's the language that's still spoken. It's no longer written or write. There's no longer reading or writing it anymore.
Oh, great. I have one more question.
Sure.
In Africa, a foreign language, would it bring an issue if it's an official language?
As long as that language is not trying to oppress the local language, it's basically the problem that we have in Sudan, where I come from, is that the government and the official language is the Arabic language. But there's no problem there. There's no problem having it be the official language. It's the fact that they oppress the other languages and enforce theirs. That's where the issues are.
Okay. And I can speak on behalf of Eritrean.
Go ahead.
We have 9 tribes, and out of the 9 tribes, basically 9 out of the 9 tribes, we have Muslim society. And they all, like the 8 tribes are Muslim, and one of the Tigrinya tribe, we have Muslim and Christian, and also we have Christians on other tribes, like a few percentage and non-believers also.
Okay.
But most of the tribes are Muslim, and some are, considering Arabic to be official language, and I don't think there is a problem with it, honestly.
They should be very careful and use Sudan as an example on that one, and by making Arabic the official language over there. That's a very dangerous. It's a very dangerous. There's no, only if it doesn't oppress. Like, you can speak it as a common language and stuff like that, but is that influence or that change coming from the outside? Because I know the Eritrean government is heavily funded from outside governments. For example, Egypt is one of their best.
Egypt, Saudi
Arabia, and these guys.
They don't even have any connection with the Western world or anywhere else.
Yeah, I think you guys should just reject this idea completely, totally, and you guys should do whatever you can to stop that from happening, because that type of influence and even the idea is coming from outside. I'm pretty sure it's not coming from inside, and it has nothing to do with the Eritrean people inside. For example, the Eritrean people, they should be using as an example for everybody else, the way they live so peacefully together. You got the Muslims, you have the Orthodox Christians, and like you said, the non-believers, and everything is going fine. It's been like that for thousands of years. But now, as the Arabic influence is ramping up, the Eritrean government, which is an oppressive regime, is actually accepting funds and money from outside governments, and now they want to influence the language that is being spoken inside Eritrea. This is not going to happen. This is never going to happen.
And then the funny thing is, let me just, before I get out, let me just help you. The funny thing is,
go ahead.
The funny thing is, we have in Eritrea, those people about 6 million population. Like 80% they don't even speak the Arabic at all. 80% the people they don't speak Arabic. Okay, so why they want it to be the national language? That's the question. This is the most thing.
That's the quickest way that to know that you're being invaded, in all types of ways. And it's I'm kind of like, you can use us as an example as to what happened to us, and don't let it happen to you. You know what I mean? It'll take some time, but it's exactly what's going to happen to you if you allow this change to come.
Thank you so much for that. Good point. Yeah.
You had a question, Miss?
Yes. And this was chosen in early 50s within the people in Eritrea. It is written in our constitution that Arabic and Tigrinya are the 2 official language. After that is English. Okay,
I can answer you that question. After the colonialist regimes left our region, basically, I'm talking about the British and the French and Italians and these guys, the people that did conquering on that area. Before they left our region, basically what they did is they gave us what they call a constitution, a flag, and some borders. They basically drew some borders on a map. There's the constitution that they wrote, and then a flag that we're supposed to somehow. But here's the thing: I know that it's in your constitution, but check this out. some of these governments and regimes and stuff like that to destroy these people, they kind of trick them into thinking, you know, they have to follow this constitution. We can rip that constitution up. That doesn't have to be the constitution. That constitution was written by somebody, and it can be erased. And I think it was some of these things were put there by very sneaky type people that are actually do want to destroy these people's heritages and stuff like that. That's why they'll come with like something official, like a constitution or something like that. You know what I mean? But I think the idea should be rejected, and even the constitution should be ripped apart. These are artifacts and things that are left by the colonial powers, and it's the form of the government. Like, they want us to run our government like with their model, basically a constitution,
okay, actually,
a president.
Do you think they left? Okay, do you think they left the European after the colonialism? Do you think they left Africa?
No, they didn't leave Africa. This is what they did: is they colonized us in a different way mentally. Now we have to follow the constitution.
Thank you.
Have whatever they wrote for us in the constitution, we're going to keep following. It's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the whole model of governance or governing, people need to look away from just following the standard whatever that was left there by the colonial powers, because they didn't leave this stuff there for our benefits or to benefit us. And I'm pretty sure you're well aware that this stuff was put in place to benefit them and their agenda, but was never put in place to benefit us. No.
And then the other thing
our constitution, brother, our constitution was never written by foreigners.
No, the model of governance. I'm sorry, the model of governance. Okay, the model of governance. The fact that you have a constitution, where'd you get that idea from? Where did that idea? The constitution. Pardon, go ahead.
We governed ourselves way years before even.
Yes. But now the new model, when the colonial powers, when they left, you know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, all these countries and stuff like that, they have to have a constitution, you know, and all of this. The model,
first of all,
the model of governance. Even the model of governance is foreign. The fact that we have a constitution that's even
forget the model. Yeah. That employment she's talking about is never employment. Never. Just the employment for 10 years almost, and the 10 years was crisis that started the Eritrean revolution. You know, whatever has happened for 30 years between Ethiopia and Eritrea, that war never been implemented. The constitution. Yeah. So I don't know why she's saying it's our constitution because never been implemented.
The fact the model
and the road is by Anzo Matenzo. ولد كرني مثلا مسايت تزارب دلغي. التو constitution تصحفو Anzo Matenzo يبهل أب جوجل كيت كتاش مخترية تغليقي. إيرتراوي كونت تصحفو تو constitution قالي كونت تصحفو مالتي. التو constitution نبوملو تصاب نتني إيرترا عطني عاد صحافة commission Anzo Matenzo زبهل يصحفوها. تقرينيا يكون تصحيفه تقري يكون كناما يكون عفار يكون زي أنا قرأ من قدري. He never wrote the constitution from inside the people, from outside.
Yes, I know.
The whole constitution.
Even the
from our people though.
No. But the whole. Yes, I understand.
We did not design it. The money was designed by African American.
Okay, look, but here's the thing. I'm talking about the model of governance. You're talking about. Your constitution. I'm telling you the fact that you even have something called a constitution, or the fact that you have to follow the model of it is coming from a colonial power. So even that's not in our interest, I believe, and that's how I think about how I'm thinking about it.
Okay, and I'm
Thank you too. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Have a great night.
Okay. Thank you, Zaman. By the way, زي أنتي مسلكم أنتي دبل دلله أتي حدا خاب مسنكات عقله معتي أتي إنجليش ناتي كم دليتكم صحاقلو مبزحتكم تم تسحقوا دنا قريكم سبعتكم مهاريكم دي تفقدوا مخنياتكم زبلكم زلكم ديهم دنا قرط راح تتصارفوا مهورات هاي تصارفون يوم كوريكت يوم زقبرخا كتم مهار كلها تزارب كلها يوم تتصارفوا سبعت بمولكم دنا قريكم دنا قرط فوت ديهم دون قرط راح يتصارف ممر هاي تصارفني ممر كرم الرادة داخل ما حيش قليد فتنا بز نبرو لعدقن ترجموا لين دابل كيكون كن تزارب كنقرأكم ولا تإنجليش كم دليتكم غيركم صدقوا كله دسرحة بعليه دسرحة سلازي دون ورب زعباتي إنجليش مالتي تم دنا قرط راح يكون كاتس عارفوا دلهم سلازي انت كبلكم دلي مسيلكم اتي ناي اب عرب نزاربولو زلنا نحنا مسكال قلما يكونن انت عرب حبرتسبات فيه اب سودان حبرتسب موليت فيه زيوم تريوم دلهم دارفور ناتهم قانقالهم زيوم تريوم دلهم دبوب am I right?
Yeah.
South Sudan they have their own language. Darfur they have their own language. Everybody have their own language. So how come the Arabic is on the top of the all language?
Because the government is taking money and is influenced and funded by outside regimes, outside government. When your government is being funded and paid by outside forces, they can go ahead and influence the language of the whole country. Yes, this can happen.
Yeah, okay. اليوم inverse مراد بالبروفايلكم عندكم تربشنا هذا لهم دعان.
Let's go.
درجة دي بس okay. Yeah, we're gonna go just a couple. We're gonna receive like 2-3 questions and then we're gonna done. That's it. Hello.
Hello.
تقدر في بعض فايا؟ Okay. أجل كسرت غليها. Hello. Okay. ماني اللي كاتب لكم أنا نقرأكم إزسي أنا يكون كنت بلوكم دلله كابانا تمهاري دبلوكم دلله كابانا تمهارو مرحبا. Hello مرحبا.
Yes.
Yes.
كميكا.
إجابير مسكن كمي.
سلام دي.
بيلا.
ماني مش متي ريدي قال كيا ولا ريدي.
بكري شمو.
Becker. I like the idea with the way he's speaking Becker.
Oh, thank you, man. How are you? Good. How are you?
That's exactly we should have to learn from him what he's talking about. That's the idea what they want exactly the Western in the whole Africa, not only Eritrean constitution or a system of a democratic or something, whatever.
Yes.
We should have to see what's going on.
What's going on?
What is the
we are in big trouble, my man. We are in big trouble. It's time for us.
Big problem.
It's time for us. It's time for us and people to wake up and know.
It needed to take time to solve African problem by African.
Yeah. Well.
That's why all African is fighting for themselves.
Yeah.
Still suffering for themselves.
Exactly.
That's unbelievable.
Yep. The weapons are coming.
Thank you very much, man.
Thank you for your time. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Smart guy, man.
Thank you.
All right.
Anyway, كلا حبريتها لني. I'm gonna tell them about my YouTube. كلا حبريتها لني. لو معلتي جروب كوينو مالتي نتي يوتيوب ناتي دوزة بولني مسيلهم. لعل 3 مليون views دلوا يوتيوب ناتي. جروب كوينهم تدزاربو زربا ناي ريسيستي تدزاربو ناي كمزي قليلهم جروب كوينهم شات داون غيرهم والله تي يوتيوب ناتي مالتي تيوم ابي يوتيوب تكاتاتولو نزنبركم بقى حماق طلع تسمعين نمبر ولا انتي مخنياتو انا اخذ لكم دلهم
tell them I'm going to be around to do we're going to keep doing this we're going to do this a lot
yeah we're going to do a lot يوتيوب عاطيهم من الله حماق تسمعني اتيوم نعايك عصو زغبرو نتي يوتيوب كانت يمسلكم مثلنا يمزراب دي امنو دناقور طرح يمكن نغركم مخنياتو انا حبرتسب صريفه سبا واردي يفلطني بتتزاربو حسابي ግን بنص يتزارب ስለዚህ بنص اخ حساب حجي خزاربي نزي تغبرو خا دخل كلن نسب يلن كنغركم سخاتكم كتعصو تفتون يقوم انا خا كله معلت خزاربي كنغركم ስለዚህ انت يخبلكم دلي اتيوم نزي تغبرو نزي كي تغبارات تغبرو كله معلتي حسادات الى طرح على مخنياتو حسدنا مساكم تفطيرت يوم مبزحتكم كم تغبرو سبات كل غزي سبك سرح سبتاش مخغبر قليلكم تغبرو يا نغيرومني كاب يوتيوب زمصان ملسي سمعكاني لعل 50 شوعه سبات اب حنت فيديو طرح نايت مال زغبركوا فيديو لعل 50 شوعه سبات از فيديو زي بقى بتاع من تاشمي لو بقى هيت سبيتش هيت قلمله بملؤتي تاشم مصين الابز اونلاين كزرغ حالكم ስለዚህ انا هيت سبيتش ايكون كنت زارب انا دزارب دسمعني دس بلن زربات زارب نغره منقدكم كتفلطو مالتي ስለዚህ نت زغبرو ابتحتو غينكم كتبلو تقول يخم تيم تصارفوا توم ريتو دلوم يخبرومي توم حساب دلوم يخبرومي ابتحتو غينو دزارب ግን ولا حنت واغا هيبوني فاليو هيبوني ስለዚህ انت ادبلكم اب عدنا بافنا حيسكمنا اب سوشيال ميديا اب افنا خطحزنا دليكم مالتي اي كالني زيات تاخذ فلط وادلاتكم ابعدنا بافنا تتحيزنا عقم تزلوكم نيركم مجيتكم نت channel ناتي موجيتكم معصخوما سمع خم زي بيقولوا تروحوا خم سترف مقبركم عقم تزلوكم تشجر جن عقم زي بيقولوا سب كحسون حماق كجبر انت راح يدخل تاخذ فلط وادلاتكم عقم زي بيقولوا سب كحسو حماق نجر كجبر راح يدخل بحصر دبله عقم تزلوكم بزي ساعه بتريفكم بين مترفكم من نيركم سمعوا لهم بزي ساعه بين مترفكم من نيركم عقم تزلوكم عقم زبال جن يبلكم من حجي نتا انا زغبرو نتنتاشمو ولا حنت خند زي ابلكم الله بيكوز كل ما عالت انا انت يا امن مسلكم اب نفسي يا امن سمعكم الله نتدزاربو نتزبلو كل ما عالت قبله لازت يوم حماق دغبركم دمس كوين تسمعكم زلو كيتكم ريفيو غبر لي حدا بحدا ملوس لي مالكو كندي غزي خوسدي ايفلطني جن ولا حنت نجر شجر كم زي بلو ولا حنت نجر شجر كم زي بلو بخم انتاشمو كرداكم دل مالتي تيوم كم زغبركم كا نجزيهم تحقوسن برنت أنا زجبرو دوايت بلونيهم كل ما عالتو كل أبزي كباب مالتي حسن كابتي يوم نسخة كابتم دعس أوه خاخ نجركا كابتم دعس أوه فري سبيش ديتا أمن نايم بار نايم زراب ديتا أمن دون قارة خمس غما خايم عس يوم تفلت ديها I believe دون قارة خمس غما خا كم زغما خا أكوبات دنا قريم كنجركا أكوبات دنا أقول لك عنك فكات راح يدخل كاب من بار كام مقصال جن أكل كلكاني سمع كاني اسقاتكم كا سلفكم من دقون تأخم لنفسكم تساقي سبعة بر كاو حليفكم تقبروا نجار يلن كاب سلفكم من دقون تأخم لنفسكم من دساقكم من بار كاله تقبروا نجار يلن كنقرأكم بنقرأ من قد تيوم حماق تحسبوا بقوم يغرد داكم دلس لذي زي أغم تزلات تغيركم وسدوا ولا حدا يخطئونكم في نايت.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, I'm also angry because they're right.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to take the time to thank everybody for their kind words, and I want to thank some of the people that called us for their questions.
Yeah.
And like I told Tasfum, I'm gonna be doing this a couple of times. I obviously you know him very well, so we'll be doing this a little bit more often. I think it's good for all of us to really talk this one out. So I hope I'll be hearing from you guys again. I'll obviously be seeing you soon. So whenever we do this, hopefully again next week, give them another show. Maybe we'll do an hour long.
Okay.
We'll take more. We'll try next time. We'll try to do more questions and answers. Yeah.
أبز ما تصدر لجزء كل ما عتينا نكاتا عنت راح يكون ولا خالقه أبز إيريا ذلو بزعبات نبلود لنا أرستن عود راح زي كنا مسبوزة حتى تحيزنا أبزغن متسينا مالتي أبزغن متسينا تتحيزنا أبزغن متسينا سلازم تياد بلوكم أتيوم أبزناتي ميديا فولو تقبرون توم تصبوا غيركم فولو بزناتي تعجسوا تصبوا غيركم تحجسوا أتيوم صارنا إذا ميديا زغنكم كيتكم قالات ندار بكم تماررو بدحريت كينكم نايم عنقاف نايم حسا ونايم حساد حساب تقبروها أملاك محرة أوردلكم يزبلوكم زانا إلى مشهد كده أبزغنا عطوانا thank you Bakr brother
thank you
all right
you guys have a good one
بقولاتكم يغني اللي بتعمي دمسجنتي وما بستكاتاتولو